everybody. We have a name for the show. Woo! I hope it's a good one. I hope that I'm not. I mean, I made it and then I was already looking at it, thinking, But hello, everybody. My name is Greg, and this is The Silver Lining. This is first episode. I don't really know what you call it. This is the fourth IRL stream, first episode with the show with the name. We got professional up in this stream. Bro, you're easy there, Ace Trainer. You're throwing around professional, super hardcore. You're a clown. I just realized that it is that. Oh man, I didn't know if it was. You know what? It kind of looked like because the way I did it, it's like from the left side to the right side, it gets bigger, so it looks like a car peeling out to the left, like the smoke that comes underneath it. And I thought, you know what? That looks a little confusing. But then I figured, okay, but it's called the silver lining. Everybody knows every cloud has a silver lining. So that should hopefully get it in your head that, okay, it's a cloud. You know, and then I went with the gray because it's supposed to be the silver lining when there's gray clouds and stuff. And I don't know. Yeah, IRL stream episode 1V, a new title. I thought it was Lint. But how is everybody doing? I hope everybody had a relatively decent week. You know, I hope everybody had the best week ever. But I know that, you know, it's a little rough. The weather is still just sort of kicking the crap out of everybody. I know here we had about 2 nice days. It was Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday I canceled my game stream just because I said, you know what, it's too beautiful out. I can't stay inside because I'm in dying to get outside. And what happened was towards the middle of last year, I got into like day hiking and stuff, you know, going following trails through the woods, and I eventually want to do longer trips. There's a place in Jersey that's like a 51-mile hike that I would love to do, you know, take about 5 days and then do that. And I want to do these things, and then I got super sick and I couldn't do anything. By the time I was healthy enough to do that kind of stuff again, it was the dead of winter, and winter was just kicking the crap out of everybody. Ace Trainer, you got a cold? I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that I'm glad that you're here watching and fighting the cold with us. I'm fantastic. Uncle, new laptop is working like a champ. You're the first stream I watched. Yes. I don't know. I popped the I don't know, Extreme Cherry. Oh god, no, let's just forget that happened. Went on a long river walk yesterday. See, that's so awesome, man. Yeah, we have a creek near here, so I walk the creek, and then when I get to the end of where you can walk it, there's a small neighborhood that you go through, and then you kind of get out to a more main road. I like it. It's about a 3.5 mile walk, but it's a little bit of a lot of different things, so I like that. I think I can say mine's pretty good with potential to get better. Well, you still got the rest of today, and you still got tomorrow for the week to get better. That's always a good thing. All right, so let's have a conversation here about Metal Gear Survive. Okay, the Silver Cherry, the late night stream, yeah. So they announced with Metal Gear Survive. I normally don't jump into topic. Yeah, moving right along. I normally don't jump into topics this hardcore, but Metal Gear Survive, they announced, did it release already, or are they announcing it later that you get one save file and then you can pay $10 to have another save file on your system? This is fascinating to me. First of all, I'm not too familiar with what kind of game it is. Is it an open world game? See, my did it survive? Yeah, I think it's out now, but I wasn't sure if I did hear that it was out, but I wasn't sure if you can pay now for the extra save. Now, here's the thing. Somebody can help me out with this game because I haven't followed Metal Gear in forever, and it doesn't seem like something that would really interest me now. Is this like Animal Crossing, where it's like an open world and my extra save file is going to exist in that world, or does the extra $10 save file generate a whole new world? This is what I'm interested in. And I'm curious about it. I mean, $10 is a bit outrageous for a feature like an extra save. That seems kind of ridiculous. A typical, all I know is a typical trash tier mobile game. Oh, it's a mobile game. Okay, so it wasn't even. I wasn't even sure if it was on. If it was on a system or not, or what kind of game it was. Okay, so this is interesting then. If it is a mobile game, we have the internet open here, and we're not using it like we should be. It's not a mobile game. No, okay, so it's not a mobile game. It's a trash tier mobile game. It's just on Steam. Okay, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, let's just look this up because this is if it's a mobile game, that actually is very interesting because that puts a new spin on the whole save file. 4-player co-op game. It takes place in the universe on the timeline directly after the events of Metal Gear Solid 5. Okay, so it's on Steam, so it's a multiplayer, it's a 4-player type game. Having multiple save files is a little ridiculous. To be completely honest, even charging for an extra save file is a little insane, considering you can just make another user account, or does the save latch onto the system itself? Is it on the PC itself? Because couldn't you just make another user, a user, and then make a new save? So I'm wondering why they're offering $10 to have another save file, because if the save files don't interact with each other, and the game is super new, so the game's super new, so it didn't give anybody the chance to review the game or anything like that. So rest in peace, Metal Gear. You could just copy your save file for what? Well, no, this is so that you have a different save file. Yeah, Mambo, this is so that you can pay to have a second save file, because depending on the kind of game it is, this is actually pretty interesting. Games like Animal Crossing, where it saves to the system, you only get one save file. So for anybody out there who's played a lot of Animal Crossing, where it wasn't a memory card, because in GameCube, I remember in GameCube, I had about 4 different memory cards with cities on them, with towns on them, because I wanted to do different towns, but I didn't want to get rid of the other towns. So I wonder if I would have paid $10 just to say, that is actually the perfect example, because if you wanted a second town in Animal Crossing and you didn't want to delete the first one, you actually ended up paying $15 or $20 because you had to go buy another 251 megabyte or block memory card. Look at the bright side. At least they don't charge people for saving the game whenever they want to. I find it very interesting. Ultimately, I think it's kind of BS. Oh man, hold on. I did it again. See, we did it again. We're talking trash. We're talking Metal Gear and whatever else. We missed the name for the show, we missed the stream information. And the shit. I meant to, I forgot this. I meant to do this earlier before the show started. And see, we're so professional here. There we go. But yeah, you can use the memory cards for other things. Well, Squeak, you couldn't. That was the thing. If you bought like a 251, I think it was like 250 blocks or something. Or I'm pretty sure it was 251. The Animal Crossing for GameCube took up that much space. So if you bought a memory card for another town, you were buying it for that. But then yes, after you were done, you could delete that information and use the memory card for something else. Don't give them ideas for saving. I find it kind of BS. I wonder if it's even necessary though. It just doesn't seem. It seems like one of those things that this company's doing that, and it sucks that they're trying to score money off of you, but at the same time, they're not gonna score money off of you. Just don't do it. Like there doesn't seem to be any purpose to doing it. The big Dreamcast VMUs for Phantasy Star Online. I had a couple of memory cards for Phantasy Star Online. Actually, no. You can correct me here. Phantasy Star Online took one whole memory card, but then they made a memory card that it was like a button that you push on top, and then it removed all of like the screen function and all of that, but it had 4 memory cards on it. I think so. I remember I had one of those 4-slot memory cards for Fire Pro Wrestling, Fire Pro D, because each slot had a save file full of wrestlers. And you can still use the card for other things. Yeah. They initially included and Lizard. And that's perfect that they did that. But if you wanted more, you had to buy more memory cards. But I love that they did that. I did love that they gave you that. See, they gave you the first save for free. Metal Gear Survive is nothing more than an attempt to cash in on the dead Metal. And that's a shame too, because the Metal Gears, I think what happened with Metal Gear is that Metal Gear, I tried to follow the story, outside of playing the games, and it got really, really weird. It got too complicated for its own good. Kingdom Hearts. And it just kind of killed the whole, I don't know, just the whole feeling of the whole vibe of the game. The 4 times VMU. I have one of the, I think I have like 2 of them. They made specific VMUs. Which experiment, I didn't care about the VMU function. I thought it was cool. I just didn't care about it. We finally escaped the memory card hell. Now they're pulling it. Yeah, now the memory cards are built into your system and you can't get rid of them. Just the store Dreamcast file. You got a cough there. Yeah, unfortunately, I always have a little bit of a cough. Metal Gear is going to appear in Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh boy. A weapon to surpass Goofy. I have 4 VMUs, 2 normal ones, one that had PSO admin tools. Oh boy. Admin tools. Hacking. You were a hacker. We were not. I was not a hacker, but I had a bunch of hacked items in that game. I had the I had like the suppressed gun plus 40, which was basically a sniper gun, a silencer pistol, egg blaster plus 90. Like I had a bunch of crazy weapons in that game. I think some of the memory cards we have for Dreamcast and GameCube, so we can have multiple Chow guard, and that's what we did, and that's what we did back then. And we bought a bunch of memory cards to play. I mean, the PlayStation 1 memory card held 15 game saves, depending on which game, because there were a few games that took 2, and I think there were even some that took 3. I remember having multiple saves of the same game on multiple memory cards. I've got a memory card that I think has tons of Castlevania and Final Fantasy saves just at different points in the game, because this was before the advent of the internet and YouTube's popularity. And when I wanted to watch certain scenes, I would pop in the memory card and I would just go to the save that was right before that moment, or play that fight. Oh, gee, I'm gonna pick up some more Dreamcast. Dreamcast stuff is so hard to buy, though. Yeah, I think that this whole save business is just very strange. I definitely think it's a cash grab. But just don't do it. It's unfortunately it's not like the loot boxes where you having to pay for loot boxes, and then in the loot boxes you get better gear and stuff. Better gear. That's like pay to win. So the more money you kick in, the more of these powerful weapons you get and stuff like that. This is just another save file, and I don't know how I don't know how having 2 save files is going to help you play the game. You know what I mean? Like, or do the save files interact with each other? Can I pay for an extra save file and then use a second character to collect risky stuff so that my main character doesn't die? You know, or if it's a completely separate generated game, there's no point. There's no point in doing it unless you have there. Okay, so there is one point which I still think is a little bogus. If you have multiple people in the house who play video games and they want their own save file, that is the only kind of justification. Because yes, if you had multiple people in the house when you had Animal Crossing, which is just, I keep using Animal Crossing because it's the best example I can think of. When you had multiple people in the house that wanted to play Animal Crossing, you either needed another memory card, or for something like City Folk where there were no memory cards, you only had one town per system. Everybody had to be in the same town. And some people might not want that. You know, with Animal Crossing, I know I wanted my own town. You know, but again, we go back to, you just make a different user file. Thanks to memory cards in the late 90s and early 2000s, my folks bought the Xbox. Oh, yeah. While I was introduced to many great titles, doesn't make up for the fact that I missed GameCube and PS2 when they were... GameCube, I don't know if you missed a ton on the GameCube when it was mainstream. I mean, I was there. I was there for the GameCube. And I don't remember people just going super crazy, with the exception of a few games. When Moonin tell us multiple save slots for Breath of the Wild is a perfect example, you know, but there really is no escaping the fact that, hey, you love me. Who is that? Who loves me? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Beasley. I'm going to call you Cafe Beasley. You know, nothing is going to defeat the fact that for most of these games that offer single saves, if you just make another user account, which normally on a video game system, it lets you make a ton of them for free, you can have as many saves as you want. Early systems that had that memory card. Oh, Neo Geo AES. Talking Metal Gear Survive and BS. And the BS involving people paying for a save file. Hey, it's Black Cat. Thank you for the host. Thank you for joining me, inviting me to the host club. Yeah, it's on the same save. It's just different profiles. Yeah, I think that it's nonsense. I think that it's ridiculous. There's really no justification for it. There's no justification for it, and there's also no reason to buy it. Now, I do want to... There was another thing that happened. Go more like metal. Up top. There was another thing that happened that kind of... The save thing got on my nerves. The save thing got on my nerves, but the Mega Man thing, I think, is much worse. Okay. So Mega Man Legend, what is it called? Legacy Collection 1 and 2. They announced that when you buy it, you're going to get Legacy Collection 1 physical, and then the download code for Legacy Collection 2. The download for Collection 2 for Legacy 2 was 5 gigs? I think it's 5 gigs now, where the Legacy Collection 1 is something like 600 megs. Why would you do that? Why would you make, first of all, why wouldn't you sell both of them physical?
You love me.
Hey, you love me. Thank you. Was that Zarina? Lara. Okay. Why wouldn't you make both of them physical? Because I love physical, and everybody loves physical. 2, why wouldn't you do it the other way around? I would have been fine if you told me, hey, Legacy Collection 2, hey, Last Al, thank you for this. Thank you for inviting me to the host club. Why would you make the download the bigger one? If you would have sold me a 5 gig memory card game or 5 gig game, and said, hey, this is Legacy Collection 2. With the first one, you should have been able to fit the first one on there anyway. But say, for instance, you just wanted to have them separate. You could easily have said, hey, you can also download these other games. It's a quick download. It's small. It fits on your system. There you go. But there's a cleaning cloth. There's a cleaning cloth. Oh, cleaning cloth. You know what, Lizard? I'm getting past the point of the little oh, hey, Jan Northman. I'm getting past the little trinkets that come with the games. I love a good statue, but you know, a statue or a figure, but like it comes with a cleaning cloth. It's just, you're not gonna sell me. You know, I don't know. I have so much stuff, and that's the problem. I have so much crap, and I love it, so I don't want to get rid of it. But that means I don't have room for more crap. The collections are also missing Mega Man. Are they also missing Mega Man and Base? That's stupid. Bayonetta 1 and 2 need a physical and digital. Yeah, Bayonetta 1 and 2, I think they're both physical, aren't they? Doesn't the or the I don't know, the Sexual Climax edition or whatever the heck it's called, doesn't that come with both physical copies? In the US, I think. Let's get both in one cartridge. Yeah, both in one cartridge would have been fine. Game publishers are real. Yeah, it feels like that, right? It doesn't it feel like lately video game companies are just, I don't know, maybe they know that we're hooked. Maybe they know that we're addicts. They're like drug addicts who or drug dealers who, once they get you hooked, they cut a little more out of your drugs every week. You know, and they know they got us, but I think they're going to get to the point where they're going to lose us. I don't see it happening anytime soon, and it's not a wide. I don't think that the industry is headed towards another bust or anything like that. Yeah, they're testing their limit. That's absolutely what's going on. They're whether they're doing it inadvertently or they're doing it absolutely on purpose. They are pushing the boundaries, and I'm worried that they're gonna do it the too much, and they're gonna lose people that are just not gonna bother coming back. And you gotta love all the cables that you need to know at age 10. Oh, I love that. It was great. Jan, when I was a kid and I used to hook all that stuff up, my parents would look at me like I was Dr. Frankenstein. They would look back behind the TV, and it was a mess of wires, and they didn't want to go near it. And something about that made it more comfortable to me. Like, I knew that I liked working with that stuff because I knew that this was slowly becoming my area, and no one wanted to touch it. Plus, it's always nice to have a specialty that other people need you for. And so far, third-party devs don't take Switch into playing it. Yeah, and that's they're trying to take it easy, but they're losing out to third-party devs are losing out to indie devs very, very quickly on the Switch because they want to try and take risks, but what risks they're taking are the wrong kind of risks. You know, so they're gonna lose. Konami lost their trust in 2014. Yeah. Konami lost a lot of trust. Capcom is losing it badly. EA, I don't remember ever trusting EA. When the sports game started on the Genesis, I thought that was one of the last times that we looked at EA and said, "Oh, they're actually doing something pretty cool." And then they I don't know. They're like that skeevy business guy. They're like that guy that when you work in an office environment and everybody sort of has like the shirt with the tie and everybody's kind of relaxed. He's the guy that wears the suit all the time, and you don't exactly know why. Like he just seems like a real, like the greasy car salesman type guy. That's EA. I think we get killed with all the wire. Did you hear what they did? Oh, yeah, Splat Cat, we were talking about that. Yeah, we Survive. Yeah, that's, ugh. I know I have I'm the Dutch Jew. Hey, the hot Wario. I know that's why I haven't bought or played a Konami. I'm not at the point with Konami where I will turn away from what they make, but I'm very quick to see their name on the box and think, EA makes this game. I don't need to play it. It's all right. I can miss it. I have no interest. Capcom's another one that's turning into, hey, this new Capcom game came out. What do I have to buy? You know what? On top of the $60 that it's going to cost me, what else am I going to have to buy? EA is dead. EA is dead. There's a joke in there because the E and the A inside of the word dead. It's in there. It's in there. I can see it. I can taste the joke. The Dan Hibiki of video game companies. Hey, I like Dan. Dan was a good character because nobody liked him, so nobody knew how to fight against him. Except the dude bros that buy the sports game. And you know what, Splatcat? Even those people are going away. Those guys that they buy the same sports game every year. It's Madden time. It's NBA time. Because from what I'm hearing, the NBA sales are down a lot this year. EA and Ubisoft are companies that turn me away. Ubisoft is... I never had a problem with Ubisoft as the company, but a lot of their games just didn't seem up my alley. I mean, I used to play Just Dance, and I think that was Ubisoft, and that was it. It amazed me when Mario and Rabbids looked like a good game because it was Ubisoft, and I was thinking, But other than that, yeah, I have no problem with them, but I have no interest in them. Like EA, I will actively avoid. One of the most successful. EA are successful, but for for their past successes. I actually don't judge a game by the company. See, okay, hold on. Chat's moving fast. I actually don't judge a game by the company. I know there are those like EA who have just been really, really bad streak. But if there's a game that interests me, I'll give it a shot. I'll give a game a shot, but first of all, I'm annoyed with Konami because of business practices, and I'm very big to avoid a company or a game based on business practices. If they're treating people like crap, if the word comes out that they're treating their employees badly, if they're loaded with shenanigans, I'll try and avoid them just because I don't want to give them money. That's no different than avoiding stores because of the charities they support or the organizations that they support. As long as the company is like EA, I generally avoid because when I see the name on the box, I know that I'm probably going to be expected to pay cash for something outside of the regular game, outside of the money that I'm paying. But I'll still give the game a try, just I won't bother buying anything from it. I have never heard of their business practices being bad or their company treatment, I should say, their employee management being bad. So I would not just actively avoid them. I play whatever interests me. Ubisoft made some decent games. They took some turns, and I have no problem with the company taking weird turns. I think that's important. And FIFA sells, but not in the US, I don't think anyway. What do you think about all this ABC games you can get on stream? Oh, like Jan, are you talking about like the alphas and stuff like that, like alpha demos and all of that, like where the game's not even complete yet? Most big name company games are contracted to other companies anyway. Where's my Rayman 4? Yeah. I don't mind it, Jan, if paying to get into games that are alphas and betas. I don't mind it as long as it very much designates that that's what it is. Now when a game that's an alpha or beta gets pays or does whatever it has to do to get put through for nominations in the Game Awards when it really shouldn't. That's what I have a problem with, and that to me is a shady tactic. Player PUBG. Yeah, PUBG. Which is why I'll avoid PUBG. I think the game itself looks boring, but I didn't like a lot of the stuff that went on behind the scenes with the Game Awards and stuff, so I'll actively avoid it. But the game also just kind of looks boring to me too. I'm not wanting to support crap companies. I don't judge a game by the company either. Atlas basically stated that they get off on their players' tiers, but Radiant Atlas games are just too damn good. Yeah, EA terrible marketing and microtransaction. Yeah, which is stuff that you can actively avoid if you really want to. Those games are years upon years straight. Yeah, Mambo, when I go to conventions, I like to check out the indie games and see what they've got going on, stuff that's in development that they have there, test demos and everything. But when I see a game there for the same time, like multiple years in a row, I usually stay away from it, because a lot of the time to me that just it kind of feels like there's no point. I'll wait for the end. I'll remember the name and then I'll wait for the end. How about a game like Hello? I didn't play Hello Neighbor, where the alpha is better than the final product. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played anything in alpha. I've played beta. I've like beta tested. The closest I beta tested was I think we were beta testers for Diablo 3 or something. I'll give an indie game a chance if it's still in alpha. Yeah, I'll give an indie game a chance. But when I go to a convention and they have a booth, and the next year they have a booth, and the next year they have a booth, come on, man. you gotta release this game. I know that the faster you rush a game, the worse it's probably gonna be, but I think we know that that's not always entirely true. If your game is good, then your game is good. And of course, with the DLC practices nowadays, you're just gonna update it as you go anyway. As for Atlas, I have personal beef with them. When you have personal beef with Atlas, which game did you play of theirs that pissed you off? Because I know there were a couple of times playing Square Enix games where I was getting frustrated. It's like, you stupid company, Squaresoft. Or back when they were Squaresoft. Which was after they were Square. What do we got? Backtrack, forgot 2K and EA. Yeah, 2K was separate. And I like the 2K games better for the sports games, especially around the turn when it was actually 2K. Like, because it was 2K1 football and stuff, because it was the 2001 version. Which was great, because when we worked, that was when I worked at the video game store, and people would come in and ask me for Y2K football, and I loved it. It was so, I've had Y2K football, President Evil, Gran Turismo, and oh man, there's a couple other ones. We just got. Oh, and then there was the HIV game, which was a game for PlayStation called The Hive, but the sticker was over the E, so the guy was wondering what the HIV game is all about. Which I almost didn't want to give it to him. When did they stop being Square and start being Squaresoft? They started being Squaresoft early. They were Squaresoft for Final Fantasy IV. I think it was early on. The HIV game. Yeah, they switched early on. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I do remember that there were games called Square. That was the company. King's Knight. Yeah, King's Knight. This was Square. Good box art, by the way. I love the box art for this game. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, they were Square very, very early. Thanks, Twitch. Stream froze. Okay, my preview's still going, so I'm still up. Looking at the canceled Rayman 4 and the original Rabbids concept. And sometimes games get canceled because they're not all that great. Squaresoft is a year younger for me. I never knew. Yeah, they were just Square at one point. I thought they were always Square. No, they were always Squaresoft, and then Enix was Enix, or they were Square, and then they were Squaresoft. Which I don't know what the transition was. Like, I don't know what happened. I know that when they merged with Enix, they became Square Enix, or Squeenix as we used to call them. Nice old anime. I know, that's Squeak. That's why I love that box. Monolith was the soft. Okay. Then they became second party to Nintendo doing. Okay, so Monolith Soft merged with we'll verify that, but so that's probably where the soft came from. Okay. I figured it was maybe because they started making games that were easier to play. So they went soft on us. Oh yeah, we're getting Square lore this time. Yeah, I was happy when they switched when they merged with Enix, because I thought Enix was a very complimentary company for them. They had some good games, stuff like the ActRaiser and all that stuff. Of course, the Dragon Quest series, which thanks to Dragon Quest Builders, I'm dying to get into more. Basically, Atlas Japan tried to have this functional PS3 emulator shut down because Persona 5 ran on it, and they didn't want it running on an emulator in a PC. And we just refer to them as Atlas Senpai in that game. Is Xenoblades any good? I didn't play either one of them. The only Xeno game I played was Xenogears on the PlayStation 1. Yeah, that's man. That was it. And I wasn't sure if they were. Oh, I'm sorry. And then I played about 10-15 hours of Xenosaga 1. And I have 1 and 2. I don't have the third one. Xenogears. Yeah, Xenogears is an awesome game. That was a great game. That I would. Here you go. You want. If you're gonna ask me for stuff that I would like for like remasters and everything, I wouldn't mind some old Square games getting remastered and re-released. Xenogears, Bahamut Lagoon, stuff like that. I'm not sure why they left Square. Yeah, Xenogears was awesome. The Squaresoft was a merge between Square and Monolith Soft. Yeah, well, I remember Monolith Soft too, but I don't. Yeah, well, it was that they made one of my favorite games. Oh, Batten Kaitos. I don't know how you pronounce it. Wing. Batten Kaitos Eternal Wongs. That's a glorious name of a game. The Xeno games are in a weird place. Europe. You know what, Elements? I did not realize that Europe didn't get Chrono Cross, and that's a damn shame, because that game is amazing. Cruising the World remaster. I wouldn't mind seeing a fun bunch of remasters of arcade remasters. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe you missed out on Chrono Cross. That's such a heartbreaker. Chronicles, Gears, and Saga are owned by different, because they're not related. The Xeno games aren't related to each other. They just happen to have Xeno. So I don't know what the function of the word Xeno is in there. I'm just not sure. Coupled with the former CEO telling European customers to, and I quote, go play your own games. I go play my more successful Western games. Enjoy the salt. Oh no, seriously, I recommend it. The Batten Kaitos. Yeah, I've seen that game around. I've seen it around. Never picked it up though. Thank you for the tea. It was delicious. Oh man, yeah. It's been a little weird lately. 2018 is turning into kind of a weird year for video games. Yeah, weird year. Did I get that right? Well, I think I feel like I said that wrong, but I said it right. Yeah, it's turning into a weird sort of situation. We didn't get Chrono Trigger. You didn't get Chrono Trigger? Really? That's a bit of a surprise. Threads of Fate. Threads of Fate I played a little bit of. I thought it was okay. I wasn't. Wasn't that Threads of Fate? Threads of Fate came out in Japan as a game. No, wait, did you? Okay, so Threads of Fate, if I remember right, came out as a game called Dew Prism, in Japan. Did you get Dew Prism? Yeah, it was Dew Prism. You might have gotten, maybe you got it as Dew Prism and you didn't know, because you got a few games that we didn't get. UK, one of my favorites was Gunner's Heaven, which came out it came out in Japan as Gunner's Heaven, and it came out in the UK as Rapid Reload. It was a spectacular game that we didn't get here. Chrono Cross had so many. Yeah, it had so many British regional dialects. Yeah. 2017 was an amazing year for video. Well, mostly because of the 2017 had the Switch in it, and I think the Switch. No. Okay, Dew Prism is just a Japanese title. I wasn't sure. Maybe you got it as a different game. Mario All Stars 60 hertz locked. Did they? Okay, the whole hertz thing, the whole 50-60 hertz. That's not still going on though, is it? For flat screen TVs eliminated all of that, right? Oh, locked into 50 hertz. Yeah, I don't think that's even an issue anymore. So that really shouldn't be. I mean, unless you're playing old school games, in which case get yourself a PVM and you can switch between 50 and 60 hertz. But ew, who wants to play 50 hertz games? It was for that one game. Yeah, 70 hertz game. I don't have any 70 hertz games. That just sounds awesome. It's a 60. Okay. You're gonna say 70 hertz games. Holy crap. I may not be much on the technology side of things, but damn, that's I don't know when that happened. I mean, I was just talking about TVs, and we were talking. I made a joke about our TVs almost breaking, and I said, "Well, it looks like we'll have to go and get a 4K TV." And then I realized that when I got the TV, it's 1080p, 120 hertz, which I think that changes everything. I don't even, for all I know, TVs are doing 240 or even more than that now. Hey, Aqua Sakura. Ooh, Aqua Sakura, your name on my screen here is pink, which works perfectly for Sakura. Which kicks into mind the fact that I have been like obsessed with the idea of going to Japan lately, even though I don't fly. I think the JRPG feels a bit boring. In terms of gameplay for a tactical RPG, I can easily understand how to manage characters. JRPGs I like. I love a good JRPG if the story's interesting, but I think a lot of them, they run the anime problem where they're a little too long for their own good. PAL basically had higher color range. Yeah, but it ran 16. Yeah, it was 17.6% slower. Yeah, and I've seen, and that 17.6% is unbelievably noticeable. Math and JRPGs? We're going to have to Mr. T you and drug your milk. Probably. Unfortunately, that is the last time it happened. The last time I tried to fly was a very long time ago, and I had a massive panic attack in the airport, and I didn't get on, so I had to come home, and my bag went to Florida with my father, and then I came home. I want to go though. It's been so long, so I feel like I'm at a point where I can try again. What I want to do is get a ticket somewhere, not an hour-long flight at the most, and something cheap, so that if I can't do it, I don't blow a lot of money on it, and then go and get on the plane and see if I can even do it. Because I would love to go to Japan. Got to hit up the arcades for all those sweet rhythm games. Is Zern Fierro? We're just gonna call you Fierro. The only rhythm game I want to play is the Taiko Drum Master, the big with the big Taiko drum. I played it once at MagFest and I fell in love with it, and it doesn't exist in the US. See Oliver's Final Fantasy. Yeah, Excalibur and Final Fantasy 9. No, I never even bothered. Yes, it's going to be even more fitting when spring arrives. Yes, it is. I want to go to Japan for everything. I want to go to Japan, and I worry that while I'm there, I'll find a job and just decide not to come back home. I really want to go to Japan after watching Elements. Whose vlog did you watch? Because I watch Abroad in Japan. He does a ton of great videos. He's been doing videos there for years. Are there boat rides to Japan? There are, but then I'm on the East Coast, so I would, short of crossing the bottom of South America like Magellan, I would have to fly somewhere to get to Japan. Soul Calibur 6 trailer for Ivy. No, I have not seen the new Soul Calibur trailer for Ivy. The Sonic one. Yeah, the Sonic one PAL was pretty bad. I think there was, for some reason, there was a game called Russian Attack. For some reason, the PAL version of that, I always remember in my mind just running horribly. Taiko Drum Master is a thing on the Switch. Is it on the Switch? Or is it on that like 1-2 Switch game? Because I would love to see that. See, but I need the thing. Like I want to get a Japanese PS2 and then get all the Taiko Drum games on there. Although it's just not the same. If you've never played a Taiko Drum Master, it is essentially a full-size Taiko drum, but like made of the same material. It's like the canvas with the wood and everything. Just ew. I've been in a light aircraft. Oh, okay, yeah. See, you're better off. I'll probably do better in a commercial airliner than I will in a light aircraft. Going to deal with some challenges if you decide to live in. Aqua Sakura. I know that there's plenty of challenges. The first of which is the fact that I am overweight and I don't want a lot of people poking my belly. Take a car trip to Cali. The car trip to Cali is like 3 weeks. Boat to Japan, it'll be a while. See, I just need to sell all my stuff and then convince my wife. Well, first I need to convince my wife to move and then sell all my stuff. Joel's vlogs. Okay. Varg Skeletor on Twitch. Okay. I feel like I've seen that name before, but probably just Skeletor, and I'm thinking about He-Man. Disgusting and villainous programmers. The only rhythm game I know of on the Switch is Voez. Yeah, which Voez doesn't even look like a rhythm game. Oh, Donkey Konga. Yeah, that's not the same though. The Switch Taiko Drum Master comes. Oh my god, and I definitely need to invest in that. Her design isn't all that new, just improved from Soul Calibur 2. Okay. Okay. Sensual slow version limit. Oh. What was that? That sounded like another host call. Hey, it's Autumn Clearwater. Clearwater. There you go. Where have you been, Clearwater? I know Clearwater goes to she goes to other streamers because I'm not popular enough to be the first choice. That's okay though. Thank you for stopping in. We were just talking pretty much whatever we feel like talking about. Thank you. So yeah, my kitty sneezed a little. Oh, it was cute. I love cat sneezes. I love the repetitive fast sneezing. I always feel bad whenever Sage does it, but it's just so adorable. What do we have? 352. One day, Uncle Silver, I'll be popular now. One day, I hope so. I am a dude, Uncle Silver. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Clearwater. Your name's Autumn. So I see Autumn first. I think that's just how I work. That's how my brain functions. All right, so 352. Okay, so we are going to take a quick break. It's going to be a couple minutes. Then the head shakes. Head shakes afterwards. Good start. We're going to take a couple minute break. And then when we come back, we will chat about something else. Later on, I'm going to also do a Q&A section. So be sure to check out the the second half of all of this glorious, the second half of the silver lining. So I guess it's the lining part. Most people make the mistake. Okay. So yeah, we'll take a quick break. It's gonna be a couple minutes, and then when we come back, we will get into whatever comes next.